Welcome to another enlightening podcast from Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com, where we question everything. Mindfulness is not what you think it is, and that's exactly why it works. The honest, no BS guide to attention, difficult emotions, and building a habit that actually lasts. By the Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com team. If you have ever tried mindfulness and felt like a failure, like your mind is too noisy, you are too distracted, or you are simply not good at it, you need to read this. Because the problem is not you. The problem is that everything you have been told about mindfulness is a lie. The billion-dollar misunderstanding. Let's be blunt. Mindfulness has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. There are apps valued at over $1 billion. There are corporate wellness programs that force employees to sit on cushions before quarterly earnings calls. There are mindful coloring books and mindful water bottles. The marketing machine has sold us a fantasy. Meditate for 10 minutes a day and unlock superhuman productivity, everlasting happiness, and inner peace on demand. That is not mindfulness. That is a spa treatment for your ego. The truth is far less glamorous and far more useful. Mindfulness, stripped of all the hype, is simply this: paying attention, on purpose, to what is happening right now, with as little extra commentary as possible. That is it. That is the whole engine. What nobody tells you. Here is the bit that no app, no guru, and no glossy book will put in bold letters. Mindfulness can be boring. It can be frustrating. It can stir up difficult emotions you have been avoiding for years. It is not a relaxation technique. It is not a quick fix. And it is certainly not about feeling good all the time. In fact, if you do it correctly, there will be moments when it feels deeply uncomfortable. And that is the first sign that you are actually doing it right. The rep is the return. Here is the single most important insight that changes everything. Most people quit mindfulness because they think they are failing. They sit down, focus on their breath, and within 3 seconds, their mind is off planning dinner, replaying an argument, or worrying about work. They bring their attention back, and it wanders again, and again, and again. They think, I'm terrible at this. My mind is too noisy. I'm broken. But here's the truth. The wandering is not the failure. The wandering is the setup. The moment you notice you have wandered, and you gently bring your attention back, that is the rep. That is the bicep curl for your brain. If you spend 10 minutes meditating and your mind wanders 99 times, but you bring it back 99 times, you have just completed 99 perfect reps. You have not failed. You have done an Olympic-level workout. The science and the hype. The research is real, but it is messier than the headlines suggest. What the evidence actually supports. Mindfulness can reduce stress. Mindfulness can reduce mild to moderate anxiety and depression. MBCT, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, can prevent depression relapse. Mindfulness improves emotional regulation. Mindfulness reduces rumination. What the evidence does not support. Mindfulness rewires your brain in 8 weeks. The largest, most rigorous study on this topic failed to replicate that famous claim. Mindfulness is a cure-all for every mental health condition. A few minutes a day produces dramatic, permanent changes. It produces modest changes that compound over years. Mindfulness works the same for everyone. The honest takeaway is this: mindfulness is a useful tool, not a miracle cure. It can genuinely help you feel better, cope with stress, and manage difficult emotions. But it is not a replacement for professional mental health care. It is not a shortcut to enlightenment. And it is certainly not a magic bullet. The deep end, where the real transformation happens. The entire point of all this practice, the breath counting, the body scans, the walking meditations, is to give you the capacity to sit with difficult emotions without being destroyed by them. Life is full of pain. You will lose people you love. You will experience failure. You will be rejected. You will get sick. You will age. These are not hypotheticals. They are certainties. The question is not whether you will experience difficult emotions. The question is how you will experience them. Will you be swept away, drowning in grief, consumed by anger, paralyzed by fear? Or will you learn to hold them, to let them move through you without losing yourself in the process? This is where mindfulness stops being a hobby and starts being a lifeline. This is where the real work happens. And this is exactly what most mindfulness books are too afraid to talk about. The 1-year rule. If you take nothing else away from today's blog and podcast, take this. Start so small it is embarrassing. Do not start with 20 minutes. Start with 1 minute. Not 5. 1. 1 minute of sitting. 1 minute of breathing. 1 minute of noticing the present moment. Why? Because 1 minute is so easy that you have no excuse. You can do it before you get out of bed. You can do it while your coffee is brewing. You can do it while waiting for a web page to load. And here is the magic. Once you sit down for 1 minute, you will often do more. The hardest part is starting. Once you have started, the momentum carries you. Consistency beats intensity. Every single time. A 1-minute practice you do every single day for 1 year is infinitely more valuable than a 20-minute practice you do once a week. What a real practice actually looks like. After months or years of practice, something shifts. Your practice deepens. It becomes less about doing and more about being. But here is the bit nobody tells you. A mature practice does not look like a serene, blissful, enlightened state. A mature practice looks like this. You still get angry, but you notice it faster. You do not stay angry as long. You still get anxious, but you recognize the physical sensations early. You do not spiral into panic. You still have hard days, but you do not collapse into them. You hold them. You still forget to practice sometimes, but you forgive yourself quickly and start again. You still have a wandering mind, but you smile at the wandering instead of judging it. A mature practice is not perfection. It is not freedom from difficult emotions. It is a fundamental shift in your relationship to your experience. Ready to go deeper? This article has only scratched the surface. Our 81-page book, What Does Mindfulness Mean and How Can It Improve My Life?, takes you through every step of the journey with honesty, humor, and zero fluff. Inside the book, you will discover the exact definition of mindfulness and the 8 things it is absolutely not. Why your wandering mind is your greatest teacher and how to turn distraction into your superpower. A full toolkit of practices, sitting, walking, body scans, and more, with a simple system for knowing which one to use based on how you actually feel. How to navigate obstacles like restlessness, self-judgment, and the nothing is happening phase. The honest science, what research actually proves, what it overpromises, and how to separate evidence from marketing hype. Real-world applications for your phone addiction, your sleep, your difficult conversations, your money anxiety, and your relationship with solitude. A complete framework for working with difficult emotions, grief, anger, fear, and everything in between. The practical strategies that actually build a lifelong practice, and the bits no one else tells you about why most people quit. The book is written in plain, easy-to-understand language. Every chapter ends with a realistic, actionable exercise that requires nothing but your attention. And it includes the raw, honest truths that the apps and gurus do not want you to know. If you are tired of the hype, if you are ready for a real, grounded, no BS guide to mindfulness that actually works, if you want to build a practice that lasts, not for weeks or months, but for a lifetime, then this book is for you at beawakealive.com/shop. Your practice matters. Your life matters. And showing up for yourself, imperfectly and persistently, is one of the most radical and beautiful things you can do in this chaotic world. Don't forget to sign up to our mailing list, follow our social channels, donate if you're able, and question everything, with more free blogs and life-changing books at beawakealive.com. Thanks for listening to another enlightening podcast from beawakealive.com, where we question everything.